Hi friends, it's Laura. Welcome back to my channel, and you're kind of seeing a little bit of a mess here on my beading mat. The very center here is a focal, and my sweet friend Jody sent me this focal and some of these beads. The rest of them are from Bargain Bead Box, and I am right now measuring. I have 2 pieces of 7-strand beading wire in this blue that we're going to use, and they are 17 inches long each. And I have some of the 2 by 1.2 crimp beads from Bargain Bead Box, and I have the 3.2 spacer beads, and we're just going to have some fun. This focal bead actually was made by Beth Sullivan. I love it. It's beautiful. It's glittery. It is blue and gold. And we're going to make a really pretty focal of it. And I'm going to need to get a little bit more blue out. But the very first thing I'm going to do is we are going to go from the front to the back. And we are going to start by crimping using one of these. We're going to just spill out some because we're going to be using a few these round crimp beads, and I'm just going to put one on, and we are making a necklace. And what I want to do is we are going to put 2 strands on here. I want to come up through like this. My fingers are like not cooperating with me. We're going to put 2 strands in through that crimp bead. I'm going to pull it down. And I don't want it tight, but I also don't want it too loosey-goosey. So kind of like that. And we are just going to mash that crimp bead. We're not going to be crimping it. So we're just going to come in here and we're just going to flatten it. We're going to check it and make sure it's on there tight. It's not coming out. And I am going to actually trim the second wire back. Get right in there and trim him off. Just like so. I'm going to do that with the other wire. Pick up my crimp bead, go from the front through the back, pick up my crimp bead, put it over both. I have been thinking about this design for a while. I just haven't sat down and put it together. So I kind of want to make sure that they have about the same amount sticking up. So I probably want to hold it with this hand. Sorry about that, guys. And I'm going to come right here and mash it down. Again, I'm going to make sure it's on there snug and tight. give it a tug test, pull on it, and I'm going to trim that wire. And I'm always going to check and make sure that they're still there. All right, now I'm going to get a small piece. I'm thinking I had a piece of blue laying here that I have not used yet, but I do, but I don't know if it's long enough. Now let's see. Ah, it is. All right, so I'm taking a piece of my scrap, and I am going to pick up another crimp bead, put it over both ends, just like so, and I'm going to bring it down. This is going to be hanging from the bottom, so this one can be a little closer. There's kind of a flat spot right here, so I'm going to kind of snug it up to that flat spot. I'm going to pull my wire over a little bit over my finger, reach in there, and flatten that crimp bead out. Tug it, and I'm not trimming these. All right, I'm going to take one side. I'm going to put a gold bead on. Find the little hole in it. This is just a gold spacer bead. I'm putting on one of these flat beads that came from Jody. And I'm putting on another gold spacer bead. Ah, my fingers. And I think I want this one to hang probably right about there. And I'm going to pick up a crimp bead. Decide about where I want this to hang. Probably right about there. Pull this down, see if that looks about right. Maybe up a little higher. And I want this to lay flat with the front of the necklace, so I'm going to come in from the side and crimp. And I'm going to make sure that that is crimped flat and make it look nice. Check and make sure it's tight. It is. And then this one I'm going to put on. I don't know why I picked that up. Put it on. I'm going to put this purpley blue. This is kind of like almost kind of like a pinch bead. It's really pretty. And then I'm going to put on one more of these. And I'm going to decide, do I want it up above? Do I want it to hang really low? I think I want it to hang kind of like that. So I'm going to put on another crimp bead. I'm going to pull this down to where I want this to hang. I think right about there. Come in again from the side and crimp him down. So my friend Jody, she has her own channel. I know most of you have already been on it and watching her. She's got so much wonderful support, and it's amazing. I absolutely love watching her videos, and I love watching her on Wendy's Crafting Friends, which Chris made the announcement. He's changing the name to, gosh, now I'll have to go back and watch. So make sure you look, because it's going to be about beading. And I'll have to double check and make sure I haven't missed any videos because I forgot that he was going to change the name. I do want to trim these bottom pieces off. So if you think you've missed a video from Wendy's Crafting Friends, please be sure to double check. And I am going to make these tails a little different length. So we have that part done. All right, so what I decided to do from here is I'm adding in these frosty peachy color. They're kind of faceted, but it's kind of hard to tell they're faceted. I am putting a gold colored bead, but I don't want them right down close to the necklace. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on a crimp bead, and I've completely destroyed the direction I want my beads to go on, but that's okay. I'll figure it out. I want it to have like that much space before, right about there before the beads start. And I want to keep these so that they're flattened the direction of the necklace. Always check. All right, we're good. So I'm going to put on a gold spacer, but I'm not using too many. And then on this one, I think I decided I was going, I gotta figure out now what I was doing here, because I got kind of discombobulated. And then so that's that segment. There's that with that. Then I gotta repeat that. So it looks like I'm going to stay peach, blue, and did I lose a peach somewhere? I'll find out here in a second, but I have more if I did. And I'm going to keep it like that. Yeah, I think I lost a peach somewhere. In all my little ramblings around here. And peach, blue, peach. This one, peach, blue, peach. Okay, they're all there. All right, so I want to keep this so it doesn't like take off on me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it like a little bit of space, and then we're going to add another crimp bead, and I want it to have probably a little more than my finger's width, probably about there, and I'm going to crimp right about there for the next segment. And I will compare these two sides when I start the next side. And then I'm just going to do the next segment of beads, which is a peach, a blue crystal, the peach, one of these pretty blue with starburst on them, and then another peach, a blue, and a peach. We're going to bring that down so it'll look like this when you're wearing it. And then the next segment, I will do the same thing. I'm going to come up to about here, and I'm going to put the next segment on, which is this one right here. This one will not have chain. It will be on the wire alone. I love this wire because you don't really have to have chain. I will show you what I plan on doing. So we're going to pick up another spacer bead. I'm going to come to about here, or sorry, crimp bead. And we're going to press and give it a little bit of a squeeze. Check it. We're going to put our final segment of beads on. And it's just a peach, one of these pretty square beads, a peach, and a final gold, whoops, spacer, or gold, yeah, spacer. And then I am going to put one more, because I don't want this to go up into your, around your back of your neck. I am going to put one more gold crimp bead back here. I'm going to hold this and just kind of crimp right there, like so. They can have a little bit of room for movement, but I don't want them to move too far. Now, I am going to debating. I was thinking about putting just a little bit of a room back here of just some 11-0s. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a spacer or a gold crimp bead, probably about right there. Give us plenty of room to crimp. Because there may be some people that are like, why would I want that wire on my neck? Even though they've never, you know, had done it, they may be kind of like, gosh, I don't want that around my neck. And, you know, that could be understandable. So I'm going to spill out some 11-0 seed beads in the gold color. And we're just going to pick up a bunch. And bring them down like that. And I am going to just bead these on until I get to where I want to add my clasping, and I'll bring you back. Okay, so I have beaded on about that much, and we are going to simply pick up a crimp bead, and I am going to, I probably should have left myself a little more room, make a loop, I can probably take a little bit off if I need to. Normally I wouldn't have as much of an issue getting it back around the corner and into that crimp bead. If it goes in, I was going to say it's not going to go in through that 11-0. There we go. Get a hold of that with my fingers, maybe, or with my pliers. That would be better if I can get a hold of that end. There we go. And I'm going to draw that down. All right, now I want to make sure that they're snug, but I want to leave myself a good little end here to put my because I'm going to clasp right into this. I'm not going to add a jump ring, so I'm going to hold that, and I am simply going to mash this. You don't want to mash your beads. Make sure you don't do that, or you'll be really sad. I'm checking to make sure that that is on tight, and it is. I'm going to clip my end. Get it up there. Clip that off. And I'm going to do the other side, and I'll be back when I'm done. Okay, before I get too far, I wanted to show you about how to kind of, without measuring, about how easy it is to kind of, you know, make sure your crimp beads are straight across. You know, make sure you're got your two pieces together. Pull your crimp bead where you need it, and then get a hold of it. Line it up with the other crimp bead. Oh, it would help if I was using a crimp bead and not a 11 seed bead, right? I was like, why is that not mashing? Oh my goodness, guys. Seriously, that would have been funny if I didn't try to mash that and it broke. You guys would have been laughing. How many of you were saying, that's not a crimp bead? Okay, so we're going to line this up and we're just going to smash it down so that they are almost perfect. You can measure this and get real technical if you want, but I'm not. So I'll bring you back in a minute. Okay, so for those of you that may want to know, there's about 49 seed beads per side. I am going to go ahead and put my last, so you can see there is a slight difference when you hold them like this. That crimp ball, the little crimp one is a little bit bigger than the 11-0s. I'm going to put him on. I'm going to put my lobster on, right on the wire, and I am going to come around and put my wire through my crimp bead. That was the word I was looking for. Goodness, words. And then I'm going to bring this all down. And I do want this side to be a little bit smaller because this is a bigger piece here. I want my wires not to be crisscrossed. So I'm going to kind of hold them like that. I'm going to take and make sure I've got only the crimp bead and mesh that flat. I'm going to give this a pull. I'll pull it this way. And it's on there tight. So I'm going to go ahead and trim that. I do have a little bit of play up here at the top, but it's at the back of the neck and it's blue wires, so we don't have to worry so much about that. Like I said, I'm pulling. It is on there tight, guys. All right, let's go ahead and close this up. I really like how this turned out. It is a longer necklace. If you want complete measurements, I did put a clasp on it. However, it's not really necessary. But for some reason, a lot of people still want the clasping. If you are like me and you have really long hair, it is very difficult to put a necklace under your hair, or over like a bun and stuff, regardless of the length of it. So I'm going to measure this. I'm going to hold this up and measure the outcome to the top of the focal is 14.5 inches. So necklace wise is 19 inches. So it's going to hang down 19, another 3.5 inches. So 19.5, well, no. So it'll hang down about 22 inches. So it is a nice long necklace. Like I said, this is, actually, I just added that wrong, didn't I? Because 14.5 is 29 inches, isn't it? Yes, 14.5 is 29 inches. And then I'm adding 3.5 inches, so 32 inches, guys. 32-inch necklace total, for those of you that want to know. And so it is very, very beautiful. Thank you, Jody, for sending me these gifts. I'm still making things with what she sent me, and this is gorgeous. I love how it turned out. I love the blue wire showing. I love the beads. I love how the peach plays off from the gold in the pendant and adds to all of the gold in it, plus the peach here. It's got that goldish peach, and it's tying all the peach and golds in together. Turned out beautiful. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you guys down in the comments below. Bye, everybody.